All right. Um, it is February 10th at 10:05 a.m. I'm gonna go ahead and call this February meeting of the Harrison Nicholas Scott and Bourbon Early Childhood Regional Collaborative. I'm gonna call it to order. Um, I can see that we have Rachel, Zach, Miss Kirby, Scott, Jessica. Okay, that looks like that's everybody. I'll make sure that y'all's names get included on the attendance. Um, I don't know if y'all saw the email that I sent yesterday. I don't really have that much to share with you today. Just maybe a couple quick status updates. Um, so I'll share those couple things, and then if we want to spend 5-10 minutes talking about anything that any of the four counties need or any initiatives we want to work on, just a reminder: this part of the grant runs through the end of June, and so we haven't we have a few months. Yes, Ms. Kirby, I will add you to the list. Absolutely. We have until June to spend out what we have. So that gives us, what is it, 4 months, 3 4 months. Um, so I'm gonna share my screen just for the agenda, just for quick reference, and then I'll unshare it. Um, that way everybody can see what I'm talking about. Okay. This is the agenda for today. As always, we have a project coordinator that's been real good for us. He's been helping keep me up to date on what people are needing and asking for. His name is Mays. This is his email right here. If you need it, if you can email him any requests or questions. If you don't hear from me, he's real good about making sure I get the communication. Um, we can talk about if there's any end of the year projects that we want to start thinking about. I know a lot of times the project of like getting kindergarten backpacks and things like that always comes up. So if that's something we want to start planning for, we can. But we have, as of yesterday, when I asked, we have about $47,500. Um, so right around that 48,000 mark is what we have left to spend out. Um, this year has been a lot better as far as people actually asking for things. So that's good. We're not scrambling to spend $250,000 in 3 months like we were a couple years ago. So that's good. I appreciate that. So um, again, this money is available for any child care facility, licensed child care facility in any of the four counties: Harrison, Nicholas, Bourbon, or Scott. Um, we've used it for things like professional development. I've used it for things we've used, I say we as the collaborative have used it as a funding resource for staff wellness improvement, making sure we take care of the early childhood staff. We bought things for classrooms to help with stars, or we bought fidget toys. We bought, um, we got a special approval and we bought an HVAC unit last year for a child care facility that was going to have to close because they didn't have the right temperature control. Um, professional development, there's really, unless I'm told differently, there's really no major restrictions on this money other than we can't pay ourselves. We can't really use it to buy food unless it's for like an outreach type of thing. So um, make sure you spread the word. And if y'all have requests, like I said, reach out to me or Maze, and we can see what we can do. So now that we have that total amount there, are there any projects that, at least the people on the call this morning, is there any projects that y'all feel would be important to start thinking about or planning for, making sure that we're able to do that?
I'll just mention, I'm Jessica. I don't know all of you on the call. I'm a quality coach. I work with child care aware, so I go into child care centers and help with quality. Mainly help a lot with the All Stars program. But something that I always love to support and push for is professional development and trainings for staff and programs. I know that we have worked with EC Learn in the past to have coupon codes for certain trainings. With this becoming, close to the end of the year and with licensing training hours needing to be completed by June. I mean, maybe if there's, other trainings with EC Learn that we can get coupon codes for, that's, just always something that I'm going to push for and support. So if we need more stuff, that's just an idea. We could work with Andrea Hale on that. Or, materials for programs. I know that's something that is always needed and helpful for anybody because everybody's always needing stuff that breaks and updating and all of that. So that's my 2 cents.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your 2 cents. Let me follow up with another penny for you. Um, you were talking about training and stuff, Jessica. Is there specific needs that you're seeing as you're going out and visiting staff and people? Are there specific trainings that you're seeing that might be helpful?
Um, I mean, not necessarily kind of overall. I mean, there are specific trainings that are needed for all stars. There were a few trainings before ECE TRIS changed. There were a few trainings that were offered for free that are no longer offered for free. Um, so that has kind of been a little bit of a challenge for programs, I think. Just there were a couple things that were offered for free that are not offered for free. Um, so I know that doesn't specifically answer your question.
Well,
One of the trainings for All Stars is the Strengthening Families. That was a training that was offered for free, and now it is no longer offered for free. So that would maybe be something that um, would be good and helpful. I'm not sure if I should know this, but I don't. I'm sure that EC Learn might have a training that would fit that, but I'm not 100% sure. I know through UK and HDI, there is a families training. I believe it is $10, but I could maybe get you in contact with the right person and maybe we can do, some coupon codes for that one. Um, Other than that, um,
no, I mean I mean I figured that the broad scope of trainings would be related to all stars. So that was helpful that you seconded that. So and yeah, if you don't mind putting me in contact, I'm happy to talk with somebody and get more coupons and or
Sure.
whatever people need. I think that's a really good idea. Thank you,
Okay.
Jessica.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll send you an email and see if I can get you in contact with who could help with that.
What was the name of that group again?
So the Strengthening Families training, there is one with UK through HDI, and that is it's all very complicated, but that's technically who I am employed by.
Right.
Um, so they do help with a lot of the trainings, and they recently just moved to a new platform where they can no longer provide any free trainings. So that's just kind of been a little tough. But I can get you in contact with somebody and maybe we can do like the coupon code thing, like what we've done with EC Learn. um I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
that
it's
that would
possible. I
be
haven't talked with anybody about it, but I don't know why that I mean I don't see why that would be an issue. But I can get you. I'll send an email to you, and then the other person that I think would be the right person to if not, she can get you to the right person, to see if we can, do that and help with that. That would be great.
yeah, that'd be awesome. I know a couple of years ago, I was having to register a bunch of staff for FET. And I was working with Brandon Heath and he
Yes. Yep.
he gave us like a discount code or something, and then he invoiced me afterwards for the amount.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
don't know if they can still do that with the new platform or not, um,
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, I'm all for using money to make that available to people. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, great.
yeah. Thank you, Jessica. Anybody else have any
I
of your
do.
projects? Yeah.
I do. I'm in Paris. I'm at the public preschool, but I also go out to the child care centers. And something I've seen a lot is training on sensory needs and communication alternatives. I've done some out information. I've given some of the child care centers in Paris, Bourbon County, some ideas, but I know that it's not a training that they have attended. So anything with sensory behavior needs, I've seen a need for.
And when you say communication alternatives, are you talking about like
Like
pegboard,
use,
sign
well, use
language,
of uh, visuals,
visuals? Yeah.
use of,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the purpose and why and
I got you. Yeah. I know at least for our people, that's always something that they need too. So that's a good point.
well, that tends to be the biggest need that I've seen they want me to come out for. So that and the behavior.
Thank you. Anybody else got more thoughts?
Jonas, this is Whitney Fowler. I got on late because I had a meeting, but we're still good to go if I get you by March the names and number of people that want to go to Summer Institute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep. As soon as you get that stuff to me, I'll get it moving.
Okay.
Yep.
Also, are these funds available to public preschool staff?
Ooh,
I know it used to be.
that's a good question. I want to say they still are. I'm gonna double check
Okay,
and make sure.
thank you.
I know I've used them for public teachers already. That's a good, yeah, I'll double check and make sure.
I believed in the last year, I think we offered like ASQ trainings for staff. Is that correct? Does that sound familiar?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have.
I was wondering if there's maybe any additional follow-up we could do with that, like if there's additional people that might want to take the ASQ training, or if like daycare centers need ASQ kits in order to do the screenings.
Um, yeah, I think kits would be a good because those are expensive. The kits
Mhm.
are. And I don't know how many we have, but I know we still have some ASQ training coupons that never got used. So I'll reach out to um, either Andrea or Olivia with EC Learn because they're the ones that did it first. I think that still have the coupons. And then yeah, that's a good point, Zach. And then I will email everybody back and let y'all know how many we have. Um, and then that way we can start passing that info along. These are all really good ideas. It seems like we're really hitting on professional development, which is great and it's totally allowable with the costs. Um, and so I'm all for making sure that our early childhood workforce is taken care of and knowledgeable. Um, so I will definitely follow up on uh, all these training questions. Um, if y'all are running into situations where you're seeing that centers need specific items or might benefit from something, or if it's your center, like I know me and Whitney have been working pretty good here the past few weeks and getting her staff some things. And so if y'all are running into situations where y'all see that place might need specific materials, let me know, and we can see if we can get something ordered for them. I've also done this in the past too. Got like a $250 Lakeshore gift card or something. If you don't know what's needed, but you just know something's needed, um, And then that way you have at least that little bit that you can start working on that. Like I said, the the allowable costs for this grant is, if I'm told differently, is pretty wide and broad. So we can be as innovative, or we can focus in as much as we want to. Okay. Before I move on, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about or say that we need to start planning for as we start wrapping up the last few months of this grant?
Sorry, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say really quickly, I think maybe another good idea to kind of go along with what Jessica mentioned about I think it was Jessica. No, it was Vicky. Or sorry, some sensory training things is maybe having some supplies for daycares for like sensory enrichment activities to be able to. They have the training, and now we give them kits of things that they can use in their classrooms.
Yes, I've seen some have a little bitty bucket of like fidgets, but I don't see them being, if they're kind of torn up, I don't see them being restocked. So anything like that would help, an area, like a sensory area for those kids, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Maybe not in this meeting, but maybe next meeting we can take some time and maybe get almost like a version of the school readiness backpacks, but almost maybe like a sensory bucket, or I forget what you said, but something that is just ready to go, and we can just hand classrooms and say, hey, this is some of the good stuff that you need to start. Yeah, I think that's a good idea for sure.
I love that idea. Kind of sort of along with that, just kind of going off of what you had said, Jonas, about you've done, gift cards in the past. I know that we used to have a lot of participation with representatives from the child care centers. And we don't see that a whole lot here lately, but I was thinking maybe I could reach out to all the programs and try to get them, back interested and engaged in the regional collaborative. And then maybe if they, get engaged and start coming, then they can get, a $250 gift card to Lakeshore or something like that, to help kind of build up our participation and enrollment, and then also use some of that money and also what can benefit, the programs.
Yeah, I think, that's a good idea too, Jessica. I mean, people respond to money, saying we'll give you something if you come and listen to
Right,
us talk.
right. Come to this and you get something free.
Because I think because here's the other thing that I've been running into too. Like I said, we've been better about it this year, and as long as the governor's office re-ups this program and this grant for the next 2 years, something I'd like to be more intentional about is reaching out to those childcare businesses, because when I've tried reaching out to them, I say, hey, what do y'all need? Send me some items. And they say, okay. And they'll take a week, they'll come back with $700 worth of things. And like, here we
Right.
go. We hope that's not too much. And it's like, we literally have $250,000 that we can spend for you. Think big. And so I think that might just be a lack of knowledge about what the ECRC does. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah. I will start the process of going ahead and getting those ordered and I guess stockpiled. And that way we can maybe even start instituting that next month even. I'll let you know, Jessica.
Sounds great. Thanks. Yeah, just let me know however I can, help.
These are all really good ideas, everyone. I want to make sure that I respect your time. We're coming up on 10:30, but if there is anything else that y'all thinking of that you want to talk about, we still can right now. Or if you think about it afterwards, shoot me an email, and we can see what we can get set up for everybody. Want to make a reminder that our next meeting is March 10th, same time, same Zoom room link. And so I'm very much anticipating that we're going to end the year strong with consistent meetings and me actually being able to log on and help facilitate this. So next meeting would be March 10th, same time, same place. And then, as always, I'll just leave it with the announcements until I hear something different or updates on them about the lead detection program for childcare facilities before 2014. The state will come out and do the free lead inspections. And then, of course, the governor's office has the workforce apprenticeships that they've really been pushing. And they have that, I'm blanking on the name now, some sort of conference or summit or something coming up where they're going to be talking about this too. So those are all things to keep in mind and pass along. And if there's ever any need for, I guess, scholarships or help with registration costs or things like that, as long as they're in one of our 4 counties, let me know. We can see what we can do for them. Is there anything else that we all want to talk about or make known, make an official comment on?
I know prior to COVID, we had started going to all the local daycares in town, and we did the, let me move my camera. We did the Brigance screening on all of the kids that were located at the daycare. Now, we have several kids that do both programs, so I'll bus them to daycare after they get out of preschool. But that might be something, we could look into also, is getting those screening so that they can have, I think when I look at my Brigance scores, the population that does the worst is the kids that aren't enrolled in any location and are at home. So it's more difficult to get that kind of material into their hands. But to make sure that we're all kind of doing the same thing across childcare settings, and daycare and preschool and school and Head Start, if we could buy those kind of screenings. I know that we bought some before, but that was before COVID, so probably all that stuff needs to be replenished. My only concern about doing it still is that, parents still have the option to request early entrance exams into kindergarten. And if they can get their hands on the materials, they will get their hands on the materials and teach to that standard so they can send their children on, whether they're truly ready or not. But, I think that if we could get maybe not the exact screening or just the manipulatives that can come in there and put those in there, at least the kids that do not come to Head Start or do not come to preschool and only are at childcare have access to the same thing that the other kids are accessing every day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, Whitney. How can you say again at the very beginning? You're saying y'all used to do this before COVID. How
Yeah, we did it before
how are
COVID.
y'all doing it before COVID? Going into the
We
homes or whatever, just providing
no,
the
we
parents
went
the
to the
stuff.
childcare locations in
Childcare
town.
location. Okay.
Yep. And then we went to the Methodist preschool. We went to the St. Edward's preschool and did all their screenings on their kids. And then there were 2 other preschools. But we bought the Brigance kits for a couple of the other individuals that, wanted them for their locations as well.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I made a note to look into that and see what we can get. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, that's
Whether
excellent.
we go universal preschool for all, if it's just an opt-in option or opt-out option, at least the kids that are going to be school aged all have the same sort of access to the same sort of hands-on material that they can perform those certain tasks with, whether they have the true screening tool in front of them or not.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you, Whitney. That was an excellent addition and point. Anybody else have anything that they want to put on the record or us talk about? Cool. Okay. Like I said, if y'all think of something afterwards, feel free to shoot me an email. And if you don't hear from me, please don't take it personally. Just try again. You can always CC Maze on the email too. Like I said, he's really good about making sure that I follow up on things. other than that, I'm ready to adjourn and start working on these things. Can someone make a motion and then can someone second?
A motion.
Thank you, sir. And then does anybody want to second that?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, everybody. Well, I appreciate y'all joining, and the excellent conversation. That was very good conversation, very helpful for us to start planning for the end of the year. So that's great. If y'all need anything, reach out. Otherwise, I'll see y'all in March. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.